Welcome back. Now, last night was the biggest night in African film and television. The African Magic Viewers' Choice Awards held in Lagos, and the entire continent was held spellbound. Some great winners, movies were celebrated, actors were celebrated, but it has also become one of the biggest nights in fashion on the continent, and Nigerians, love their fashion, and the AMVCA is at the pinnacle of that, and Nigerians came out in all sorts. And I say that very mildly, but I have someone here who understands fashion and all of that better than I do. Akin Faminu, thanks a lot for being here today. Do I call you Dr. Akin Faminu?
Yeah, you can. It's all right.
How are you doing?
Very well, thank you.
Thanks for being here today. You looked amazing yesterday. And I you've been here before, we've talked about this, and I want to start with that again. I know it's not a very popular opinion, but I miss the days when the AMVCAs were a proper black tie event. And I feel like we're at a point now where it's sort of a costume party. Most people don't like to hear that. And people say, well, is there a theme? There's no theme, so why can't I wear what I wear? Which is why I said, you looked great yesterday. You wore a tuxedo, which is what I always want to see at an event like that. But that's my opinion. I don't know how you felt about last night, generally.
So I think, first of all, I want to congratulate all the winners. Yesterday, I mean, it was a night to celebrate film and fashion, but film first of all. So a huge congratulations to all the nominees and all the winners. Now to the fashion. So the AMVCAs, I like to liken it in terms of fashion to the Oscars, because it's a movie award night. But the clause there is that we don't have a replica of something like the Met Gala, which you can, say is sort of a costume party, because the Met Gala is totally different. It talks about arts, fashion as an art, not necessarily an award show. So these days, I feel like Nigerians just try to express their creativity through the biggest night of fashion, which is the AMVCA. So I share your sentiments. I'm also going to be a tuxedo the guy for my first look. I mean, I can do whatever for the other looks, but for the first look, it's an award night. So I mean, I expect to still see black tie dress code on the red carpet.
I mean, most people don't agree with me. I've been to virtually every AMVCA, maybe about 2 or 3, and I've always worn a tuxedo with a black tie. I mean, I even thought I was too edgy yesterday. That's by the way. But what sort of trends did you notice yesterday? I don't know if I saw a pattern or anything. Did you see a trend yesterday?
Oh yeah, I did see a pattern actually. So the pattern I would split into menswear and women's wear. So the pattern I saw for menswear, still in black tie, was, flared pants, arts. There was still an expression of art, but blended into black tie. So you had tuxedos that had paintings, you had flared pants and stuff like that. So that was for the men. For the women, I saw a lot of structure. There's a lot of structural outfits. Some look like a costume. Others look like a black tie, but there was a lot of structure, and that was very, very nice to see.
I saw a lot of proportions and all of that, and it was very fascinating,
very interesting
to look at. Now with the men with the flare pants, I mean, it's going with the times now. Internationally, absolutely. You're also seeing that as well. People have argued that it's a trend that's dying, but it's still around, and it looked great yesterday. Do you think it's still strong enough to last?
I mean, fashion revolves. Trends come, trends go. But absolutely. I mean, I think it's definitely strong enough to last, because it's very comfortable compared to tightly fitted pants.
It's sock belly too much.
It's actually very comfortable, and it looks really good. It looks really good. So definitely so.
We are used to seeing a lot of sequins and bling with the women. Did we see a lot of that yesterday?
In this part of the world, we love to be extra. So our fashion is very extra. It's very expressive, and I think on red carpet nights, even during the time that the AMVCA was still like a black tie, you still tend to see a lot of blings. So there were lots of stones, a lot of crystals. I mean, done properly, it can look super amazing.
I've always believed that the traditional attire for Nigerian men works as a black tie. outfits for us, because it's our culture and all of that. As long as you wear a hat is what I always say. But I don't know that we saw a lot of that yesterday. And typically with the AMVCAs, you kind of see a number of people in traditional attire. I think, Odunlade, I think I saw in Anagbada. I saw 1 or 2 or 3 people generally, but it wasn't very RMD, of course, looked very regal, but it wasn't very popular. Do you think the cultural night, which happens the day before, is taking away from it?
So I mean, for me, I would always substitute our culture for costume. So either you do black tie, you do something Afrocentric, or you do something cultural for the AMVCA night. And then, but the fact that there is a cultural night before that is, I think, what maybe took that away. So most people already did their cultural looks for the cultural night, as opposed to the actual day. But RMD's outfit was amazing. I think it was by the Jankola. It was very regal. Loved it.
Speaking of, you mentioned the designer's name, and I want to talk about the designers and who stood out. And it looked like it was Vicky James' night, first of all. Let me start with that. Every lady who I saw sort of trending or going viral, I saw her, I was like, okay, she had a great night. Did anybody else stand out for you?
So, again, Vicky James did stand out for me, because if I'm picking my best dressed ladies, I think about 2 of them were Vicky James. So, and for the men, Atafo, as usual, as always. The Jankola also stood out. So, and then Wisdom Franklin. Wisdom Franklin did stand out, because I know he made a particular outfit for Chioma Ikoku that I thought was very beautiful. It was in between Met Gala and Oscars. I loved it. It was amazing.
Let's start with people who didn't, stand out for you, or people who you thought missed the mark.
Okay, so there's this particular outfit I saw. When you see the outfit, it looks good. I mean, it was a crochet 3-piece. I think it was worn by Mr. Tayo Fanino, I think. He's an actor, So I looked at it and it looked really good. However, for a red carpet night, on award night, not so much. So it was a thing of missed the mark in terms of time and place. But the outfit itself was really nice. I think it's more of a style, really casual, laid back, but not on the carpet.
What did you think of Tiana?
So
was that sack? I was trying to understand what the outfit was.
Okay, so my personal opinion about that outfit is that it was given more Megala than Oscars. And it was, I mean, Tiana is very edgy.
I mean, respect that from her.
Yes, and I really respect her creativity. I think in terms of female designers, when you're thinking of going overboard with your creativity, Tiana really does stand out. The only issue I have sometimes is the execution. Last night's outfit was very interesting. It was quite interesting. I didn't think it was appropriate for the event, but you cannot deny the creativity. It was quite creative, but I didn't really understand. So maybe if we could get like an idea behind it, or maybe like a BTS thing to let us know, okay, this is what you were going for, we might better, because designers are creatives. Sometimes we see finished work and we don't understand the process unless we are, told. So that was my standard.
For about 3 years, I know we had this thing with the AMVCAs where, they had a best dressed podium. You go there, take pictures, the viewers voted, and the best dressed, got the award. It was scrapped this year. Do you think that was a good thing? Do you think it affected? Because we would have said that move by the AMVCAs is what has even upped the fashion game even more. Now that it's gone, do you think it's going to have an effect on the awards as a whole?
Well, I'm sure.
And was it a good thing for it to be dropped?
So I'm sure for an award to be scrapped, must have been something. So maybe could it be controversy? But I know that like a lot of people were still expecting the award to happen last year, but it didn't happen. Is it good for the event? As a fashion person, I would say it's not, because I love to see the effort, And then you're very right in terms of the fact that people decided to up their game for that award. But on the other side, on the flip side of it, I don't know, it could be a bit controversial sometimes, because, everybody has their favorites. And for things like that, when you, I mean, it's the viewer's choice though. So when you pick one person, of course, other people that think their own favorites look better will be like, so maybe because of the controversy, but in my own personal opinion, I think that if they can bring it back, they should, because fashion, definitely.
I mean, we're seeing a few of the looks on our screen, but before we get to that, I want to ask you about someone who people have said has become the queen of the AMVCAs, and every year she drops this bomb and people just go crazy. And she's not even Nigerian.
I know.
She's from Ghana, Nana Akua-Addo.
Yeah.
You know, she's brought all this form and structure and art to the AMVCAs every year. And I feel like everybody was waiting on her page. People just remember her once every year, like, okay, when is she going to drop a picture? And she did that again this year with this white structural. I've been trying to understand with the faces. I'm trying to understand the outfits. I'm like, can she see it? How's this going to work? But what did you think of that?
Well, I mean, I thought it was a creative masterpiece, to be honest. I did actually take my time to look at it properly. So I think what she does is just to try to make a statement every year with art. So that outfit is art. In terms of practicality, I don't know. Sometimes art may not be so practical.
Yeah, that's how on your screen now.
Okay, fantastic. Sometimes art may not be so practical. You have people go for big award nights that they have to take out a train so they can sit or something. But I mean, then again, what is fashion if not art? So I really
love it. Can she sit in this?
Ooh, I wouldn't know.
It's amazing, it's
but
amazing.
It's really good, though. It's really good.
Let's get to people who stood out for you now.
Okay.
Let's start with the men.
Okay.
They say we're usually boring, so let's just get out of the way. Okay. Are there men who stood out for you on the night? Okay,
so I mean, I have a bias towards the fact that I think that the AMVCA is traditionally a black tie. So I'm going to start with that. For black tie, for classic tuxedos, I remember seeing a look by, I think, Alex Ekobo. Yeah,
that was really sharp.
Good. Yeah, it was a sharp look. Very
it was one of my favorites as well.
Yeah, it was a sharp look, very nice. And then there's a certain Ebuka Obiochendu. I don't know if you know him. But yeah, solid look, Atafo, definitely.
Yeah.
I feel like even the tuxes were interesting this year. Yeah. They were quite edgy. So anyone that understands black tie would know that this is not normal black tie.
Yeah.
It's not normal black tie. It has an edge to it. That's for the black tie part.
Yeah.
So for the more creative ones, I mean, I remember a look by Saga Deolo. There's a pink look. It was quite creative. I mean, not the usual that you see. So that was very nice as well. There was a particular look that had body art. I think it was done by Neo. Yeah, that to me looked more like a Met Gala kind of look. And it looked very familiar. Yeah, it looked very familiar. I think Vivienne Westwood, 96. Yes. Yeah, so, but execution was actually quite good. Yeah. Execution was actually quite good. So for the men, yeah, I think those names.
They tried.
Yes, we tried.
And for the women now, I mean, we've seen a few of them. I saw Sasi Godaro on our screens. I've seen Beauty Sukura. I was not dressed yet. I was trying to watch the red carpet go on TV, and I saw Toke Makinwa's picture. And I feel like at that point I was like, yeah, this is going to be a good night.
Yeah, of course.
Because that was the first, you sort of opened up the day, and I just was wowed by what I saw.
Yeah.
But I don't know which women made you on this.
So big kudos to Nigerian women. Like, they always bring it. And when I say bring it, I mean competing with any other
anywhere
in the world, anywhere, whatever event. I feel like if there was a Nigerian Met Gala, Nigerians are going to absolutely
deliver. I agree.
Yeah. So
that was okay. Looked like a lamp.
Yesterday.
Looked like a statue.
It was so the structure was amazing.
Yeah.
So some of my favorites, Toke, definitely. There was Osasi Godaro. Tomike Aduri.
Okay, that was really good.
I love that.
It was like a half jacket, half
and
dress.
And then it fits what I believe is the theme.
Yes.
It was beautiful. And I've mentioned 3 looks, and all of them are Vicky James.
Yes.
So Nana as well, Nana Akua-Addo. I love Beauty's outfit as well. It was very, very good. And then, special ups to the ladies as well, because, they have to do hair. You have to do makeup, you have to do nails, you have to do so many things. So it takes a lot of effort. It really takes.
And still get on the red carpet on time.
And still get on the red carpet on time, with trains. I mean, it's not easy. So big ups to them. Those looks were absolutely amazing. It stood out for me.
Yeah. Is there anybody who you saw, who maybe you wouldn't, I don't want to sound like I'm dissing anyone, but someone who you wouldn't have expected to shine as much as they did. And you were like, oh, that's a good one. Is there anybody you saw that, surprises you? Maybe that's a better word.
Surprise. I'm not really sure, but okay, one comes to mind. So there was a delivery of an all-white outfit that Elozonam did. Yeah, it was very different. It looked very different from his normal style. So yeah, that was quite surprising, but surprising in a good way.
Yeah.
Surprising in a good way. So, and then I like the delivery as well. Another interesting about us is that, you know, in this part of the world, in Nigeria, for AMVCAs, everyone likes to create their content ahead of time. So you get the opportunity.
People are doing shoots on Tuesday.
And I'm it's a serious
so, I mean, I've been looking at pictures. The shoots, first of all, shout out to all the photographers.
Yeah, amazing work. Amazing
shout out to Jemima, who was seen on the screen as well. I mean, this is a nice shoot.
Yeah.
In her room or wherever it is. But I'm seeing these things. I'm seeing clouds. I'm seeing birds in the sky. I'm seeing horses. I'm so like,
now you get
things are really happening.
My point about
it's a whole production
between the Met Gala and
it's a whole production.
Yeah, it's a whole production. It's not easy. Before we even talk about the delivery, there's photography, there's creative direction, there's location scouting. All of these things are not easy.
Yeah.
To put together that for the AMVCA, I mean, I think it's really amazing. We are some of the most creative people in the world.
It is interesting. And because you see people's pictures and the tags are like 15
you know.
I was just looking at a picture of Echo Edewa just now, and there's a slide in her picture that has a picture of her room with a team. And I could count at least about 8 or 9 people just to get someone dressed. It's impressive.
Yeah, I mean, amazing.
Yeah, but all around, how would you rate this year, fashion-wise?
So, I feel like for the past 3 years, there's been an upward trajectory in the fashion. I don't know if that's tailored to the fact that there was now a best dressed, but the fashion has really...
It's quite intense.
Quite intense. And then you also know that people are paying so much attention to it from the kind of pictures you see on the day. So you have people doing shoots a week before.
You do test shoots before the actual shoots.
I don't know about that one. That's very serious. But I'm a creator, so I'm all for creativity.
Yeah.
I'm all for the effort. You know, and then if there's one thing the Nigerians will do, we're definitely going to put in effort into whatever we do. So yeah, the fashion this year was a lot better, but also a lot more experimental than usual.
Yeah, than usual.
So I'm not really a fan of the fact that the fashion for the AMVCA is tilting towards that way, because I mean, we also have Fashion Week. I like to be experimental during Fashion Week, but for things like award nights, movie award nights, it could be like literally a movie Academy award night.
Yeah.
It's different from a music award night. So for a movie award night, I think the simpler the better, honestly, in my personal opinion.
I'm preaching that gospel with you. Maybe one day it will resonate with people. But I mean, everybody, shout out to everyone who put in the efforts, photographers, designers, and the entire fashion industry, which of course you are a huge proponent of, and you know, advance that. Thanks a lot for everything. I don't know who that guy is on the screen. Take it away. Thanks a lot, Aki Famino, for joining us today, and all the best with everything.
Thank you so much.
Don't just stand there teasing me. Now it's time to show